Hi, this is Marisa. I'm your home educator coach and founder of My Homeschool Roadmap, and welcome back. The first two videos, which I hope you watched, covered early college. You know, what it's all about. And what it is it gives your teens the opportunity to skip high school and head straight to community college. It's an option that allows them to move ahead. And I tell you the story of my two kids who started early college, community college, when they were 12, and why they liked it so much. And in video 2, I not only share with you more stories of the benefits of early college, but then I share with you my screen where I show you how to choose the classes, because there is a strategy. Now, if you haven't watched video 1 and 2, I highly recommend that you go back and watch that, because it has valuable information that you won't want to miss. In this video, video number 3, you're going to learn different options that will allow your student to earn college credit and move ahead. I'm also going to show you the different ways that you can pay for community college. And if you're a working parent, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can make this work for your child. The early college option really worked for both our children. Our daughter was able to graduate with both her AA degree and her high school diploma at the same time, and she was only a junior in high school.
I can tell you that when I entered community college in 8th grade, I was no genius. I was just like any of my other homeschool friends. But when I went there, it taught me so much, and it really did help me mature in my academic learning. And so really, I would just suggest to try it out, see if it works out for you. If you like it, awesome, you can move on, take more classes, get ahead. And if it's not your learning style, then you tried it. At least you know now, and you can take another route for learning.
Saving us thousands of dollars in university tuition, because when she went to the university in the fall, she was classified as a junior. Our son is totally different from our daughter. He wants to take his time. Because he owns 5 businesses, 3 of them online, the early college option really works for him.
You know, if I was at school, I'd be sitting in the classroom 7-8 hours a day. So it really gave me that free time to do what I wanted to learn. To me, it felt like I had much more flexibility and I could do more.
Back when I was in school, all the things that I learned that I enjoyed doing, but all the things that was just a waste of my time now, he doesn't have, he doesn't have to do that. His time is extra time that he has putting on something that, again, he has a passion for. And if he can find a passion at that age and then develop it and mature it to the point where he's at now, that's a big accomplishment. I mean, I was in my 30s before I ever did that.
There's no work involved. Like there's never any reminders where I have to do something. It's like, oh, I'll get to it because I know I want to do it. So owning so many businesses really isn't as hard as it may look, as long as you're enjoying it. So to me, yeah, so far it's been something that I really like to do and something that I have time for.
And that is just exciting to see him diligently and disciplined to count the money, to get in there to clean up, to know what to do, and just to move forward. It's just very exciting to see him kind of take that step from, doing things sort of, I'm going to say as a child to a young adult to adult stage. It's just amazing at 15 years old, almost 16, where he's at today.
To be honest, when I first started a business, I had no idea I was going to be opening up arcades or owning over 50 arcade games. So really, its expectations were pretty low, and they just kept getting higher as time went by.
He's very well focused on what he's doing. He hasn't had a lot of the distractions I think he could have had he been in a high school situation. Not that those are bad, but that they are distractions. But he's able to focus in and really take a passion that he's developed and work with that. And just the one-on-one with my wife, who's been teaching him, and the guidance that we've given him, he's just taken that and moved forward on his own, and that's what's exciting to see. He's doing a lot of this on his own with just a little bit of guidance from us.
You don't have a business, or maybe business isn't even your cup of tea. Maybe science or math is something you enjoy, just find something you really love about it, and either you can make videos of it, you can try and make a product of it, you can tell your friends, and just have fun with it, and business will come along the way, as long as you just keep pushing the limits of what you can do with something that you enjoy. And maybe it's an instrument, or maybe it's a sport, but as long as you can just kind of keep pushing that limit and come up with ideas where, hey, where can I go with this that'll make me successful? I think if you have that mindset, really it'll be successful for you.
I homeschooled for the last 15 years our 2 children, and I homeschooled them up until 8th grade, and then I kind of semi-retired. And I really wanted to be able to keep them at home a majority of the time. But it got difficult. Teaching the upper grades just scared the heck out of me, really. And I started to look for other options, tools or resources that would allow me to still be able to keep them at home for a majority of the time, because I wanted to remain that influence for our children. Early college is such a great option because it allows them still to get a great education where all their classes count, not only for college, but also for high school. But then they still have a majority of the time spent at home where they can pursue their passions, where they just have time to hang out with you, where you have time to hang out with them and be able to teach them all those life skills, life lessons, character, just still be able to be in their world. Because let's face it, those teen years are critical years. They may act like they don't need us, but they really do. You and I know if you have a teenager, they need us more than ever. Teens deal with issues like awkwardness or fitting in or drugs, alcohol, all these temptations that surround them. And to know that we as parents still have an opportunity to have an influence in this challenging world that they're starting to live in as a teenager. There's so many changes that are taking place, and I believe that they need us more than ever, even though they may not act like it. I'm really passionate about home education simply because it has really worked for us amazingly and surprisingly. But I gotta tell you, I never thought that in the beginning. In fact, I would have never considered homeschooling had it not been some divine appointments that came my way that convinced me that, I should just try it. I can always take them back to school, but I should just try it. And I said that every year, and I still kept doing it because it was working, and what do you know? But one of the things that I really love about home education is not so much the success in academics, because they did do very well, but I think more importantly was the time that we had to be able to strengthen our relationships. So it started at a young age, but it even grew into a stronger relationship in their teen years as a result of still being able to keep them at home and using the early college option. And it's for those students who want to move ahead, who maybe feel unchallenged or bored, or maybe it could be used as an option for a child who's feeling like they have no purpose or lacking direction. But keeping in mind, it really forces them to step up to the plate. But oftentimes, that's a good thing for them to feel challenged and to take that risk. Another option that allows students to move ahead is by taking an exam called the CLEP. It stands for College Level Examination Program. And here's how the CLEP works. If your child is really knowledgeable on a particular subject area, let's say history, he can test out on that subject by taking an exam. In other words, he takes the test on that subject, and if he scores really well, then he doesn't have to take that class at community college. He can skip it and still get credit for that class. You can sign up for the CLEP exams on collegeboard.org. They handle all CLEP exams. You simply pay online, and then you are pointed toward a testing center. where you take the test and you'll be mailed your score. It's that simple. And if you don't score well on the exam, you can always retake it, but you have to wait 3 months. And then you also have to pay each time you retake the exam. Now there are 33 different exams that you can take in 5 different subject areas. Another option that your student might be interested in is attending an early college high school. They're usually located within college campuses, and it's like a regular high school. The only difference is that the school focuses on students taking community college classes while in high school. Sometimes they can start as early as a sophomore, but they are in school just like they would if they were in high school. Then there's also dual enrollment if your child is in a public high school. They can take community college classes while in high school. Normally, they aren't allowed to take those college classes until they're a junior or senior. There is also dual enrollment available at public or private universities, where a high school student can take university classes to get ahead of the game. So rather than going to community college, you go straight into the university instead. So what I would do is inquire with the university that your child is interested in attending and ask them about an early college option that would allow them to take university classes that could fulfill high school requirements. Now keep in mind, this might be a more costly option, but nevertheless, it is an option depending on the university. And then of course you can homeschool, which means you take your child to a community college, they take a placement exam, and they're in. The beauty of going that route as a homeschooler is you have a lot more flexibility. You can start whenever you want in terms of age. You have the flexibility of choosing either 1 class or 3 classes. I mean, you have all the flexibility. You have a lot of independence. Now, if you choose that option to be a homeschooler while at community college, you can always use another program along with it, like an online program, especially if your student doesn't feel comfortable actually going to community college. And also know that you can take online classes at community college, and there are also hybrid classes which are half and half. They're half online and half in class, and they're called hybrid classes while at community college. That is another option. Now, for you working parents out there, you're probably wondering, how can I make this work if I work? Because community college classes are typically an hour or an hour and a half at the most, sometimes it's 2 days a week, sometimes it's 3 days a week, you can try to find carpools. A lot of homeschool groups have kids that are taking early college, and if you hook up with a homeschool group, you can find carpools that way. Another option would be having a friend or hiring a college student to actually take your child to community college while you're at work and then bring them home. Typically, your child doesn't take any more than 3 classes. I mean, taking 4 classes would make them a full-time student. And I know my kids never took 4 classes. The most they ever took were 3 classes. Now my kids took it really slow. They started with just 1 class, and then gradually every year they would add a class. And that really worked for them. And how do you pay for community college classes? Well, there are some states that actually will pay for community college classes for its teens. Specifically, I know Ohio does that through their College Credit Plus program. And I know a lot of states are following in that same track. So what I suggest is calling the State Department of Education and asking them if there are programs that would actually pay for early college. You can also check with your community college, since they would probably also know. There's also what's called an education savings account. I know the states of Arizona and Florida have it in place. So if you are eligible, and what makes you eligible for the education savings account is if you're an active military, if you have adopted children, if you have special needs children, if you live in a Native American reservation, or if your child is attending a failing school, your child would be eligible for what's called the Education Savings Account. And what that is the state actually gives you money in an account and allows you to use those monies specifically for education. Here in the state of Arizona, they give you a debit card and then you choose how you want to spend those monies. And then you simply save those receipts and you check with the State Department of Education to make sure those purchases qualify. And then of course there's scholarships. It's more difficult to find scholarships that will pay for early college, but that doesn't mean they're not out there. I know my son earned a scholarship, a $2,500 scholarship, for an oratory contest that he won when he was only 11 years old.
The internet can be life-saving, educational, and not just for nerds, according to my calculations. Educational, inspirational, and just flat out funny. Like these jokes I got off howtobefunny.com. What did the alien say to the gardener? Take me through your weeder. And why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants? In case he got a hole in one. Give a person a fish and feed them for a day. Teach the person to use the internet, and you won't be bothered for weeks.
So start thinking about ways that you can help fund early college for your child. And then you might want to consider online charter schools that sometimes pay for early college classes for your child, or distance learning programs that may also pay for early college classes. It's just a matter of finding out where they are. I can't stress enough the benefits of early college, not only in your students' ability to move ahead, but it gives them that time to be able to figure out what they want to do before they head out to the university, if they go to the university. But it's really a block of time, those years, those teen years, that allow them to really be able to figure that out, because so often they don't know what they want to do after they graduate from high school. So here's an option that gives them time to be able to do that. 1,274 hours. That is the amount of time a child spends in the classroom in any given school year. That amounts to about 2 months. 2 months where you don't have that influence in your child, where your child is away from home. So here's an option that allows you to be able to take those hours back and give them back to your child and allow him to be able to use it in a way that moves him ahead of the game. And for you as a parent, it really gives you just more time to be able to coach them, to encourage them, to be in their world. It's that last block of time before they head out to the university or they leave home, giving you the opportunity to be able to train them, to pour into their lives, to teach them all those important things that you wanted to teach them but you never got around to. So if you didn't have the chance in their younger years, here's an opportunity to be able to do that now before they leave. And if you're committed to really making this work, I'm committed to helping you. If you're interested in moving forward with the early college program, be sure to click the button below. Remember, been there, done it, and I know you can too.